Hello and welcome to the Chatterbox Letters podcast. Today's topic is the Chatter Letter Anonymous. Welcome to a live stream broadcasting exclusive. Never take any notice of anonymous letters unless you get a few thousand on the same subject as this letter. One thing about bureaucrats is that they never swallow their young. Leave them alone and you'll find them increasing every year. Thinking ahead, what really happens to us will depend on how many people we have who are of the great and sobered and dynamic middle class, the strivers, the planners, the ambitious ones. Men of genius are not to be analyzed by commonplace rules. The rest of us who have been or are leaders more commonplace in our quality will do well to remember two things. One is never to forget posterity when devising a policy. The other is never to think of a posterity when making a speech. Equipment is necessary in establishing an academy. The certain principles must apply to this business which affects the artistic sense of the community. Great art speaks a language which every intelligent person must understand. The people who call themselves modernists today speak a different language. A manager may be tough and practical, squeezing out while the going is good. The last ounce of profit and dividend. One speaks with great respect of the economists, if only because they represent such a variety of opinions. The great vice of democracy is that a great generation we have been busy getting ourselves on the list of beneficiaries and removing ourselves from the list of contributors as if somewhere there was somebody else's effort on which we could have never answer anonymous letter. No peace is impossible when people are determined to achieve it. All the true language is incomprehensible, like the chatter of a beggar's teeth. We already know that the ambitious letter, the anonymous letter, are deceptive in etiquette as well as in law. Hiring a hitman to do jobs does not relieve you of your responsibilities. As an anonymous letter has recently informed me, a dictatorship is a powerful incitement to the composition of everyone's letters. I have never known a time when so many were in circulation. They are continuously arriving at my door, inspired by passion and enjoying the irresponsibility of their orphan condition. They nevertheless have one great advantage over legitimate correspondence. They expose their ideas to their ultimate conclusions. They empty the sack. All speech written or spoken is a dead language until it finds a willing and prepared hearer. And any fool can know the point is to understand speech is power. Speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel. Direct and simple language always has some force behind it. I learned immediately from any speaker how much he or she has already lived through the poverty or splendor of his and her speech. The true use of speech in an anonymous letter is not so much to express out ones who concealed them. Free speech carries within its freedom to listen. To suppress free speech is a double wrong. It violates the rights of the hearer as well as those of a speaker. Speech of the anonymous letter is the mirror of the soul. As a man speaks, so speech is powerful words do not fade, which starts out as sounds ends in a deed. Speech is the only benefit man has to express his or her excellency of mind above the creatures. Speakers who talk about what life has taught them never fail to keep the attention of listeners. I always think a great speaker convinces us not by force of reasoning, but because he or she is visibly enjoying the belief he or she wants to us to accept. The speaker of the anonymous letter must choose a comprehensive expression so that speaker or the anonymous letter could understand one another. The only knowledge that can truly orient actions is knowledge that frees itself from mere human interest and is based in ideas. In the other words, knowledge has taken its theoretical attitude from a moral point of view. There is no excuse for terrorist acts regardless of the motive or situation under which they are carried out. I take my fundamental starting point, the fundamental distinction between work and interaction. I, in fact, tend to have more confidence in the outcome or the democratic decision if there was a minority that voted against it than if it was unanimous. Social psychology has ample shown the strength of its bandwagon effect. Reaching the understanding is a process of bringing about an agreement on the presupposed basis of validity claims that are mutually recognized. That is my topic for today. Everything that is to known about a chatter letter and its anonymous effects. I'd like to end this right now with this intact. Your chatter letter is anonymous. Always keep it that way.